Hi everybody, I'm Mae and this is Sam, and we are the co-founders of Eric, a career and self-development platform aspiring young creatives. And today we are hosting an online workshop called Know Yourself, 5 steps to get better self-awareness immediately. This workshop is part of a series that we kind of put together all around career and self-development. And it's because we're basically sick and tired of non-actionable advice, aren't we, Sam? Like there's just so much out there at the moment. And we just thought we'd just give it a go and give kind of like no bullshit advice as well, if you're allowed to swear. So with each workshop, we've also written an article to go with it. So which will basically, recap everything that we are telling you. And it's available on the Eric website. So Sam actually wrote this particular workshop all around self-awareness because it really changed her life. And so Sam, tell us more about this topic, I guess, and this workshop that we're going to go into.
Yeah, so just to clarify, I'm absolutely not an expert in self-awareness, so I don't want there to be any assumption that I actually know what I'm talking about. But I basically became really inspired by self-awareness because I had a bit of a window into how I operate, and then I became absolutely obsessed with learning more about myself and my personality. And it just really gave me an insight into reasons that I do things, my behavioural traits and things like that. So, and that's basically what self-awareness is. So it's understanding more about how you react to things, recognising all of the things that you're best at, and just knowing what to avoid, what situations you should be steering clear of. It's all about presenting the best version of yourself all the time. So it allowed me to embrace my uniqueness and how interesting, it's about highlighting how interesting you are as an individual and using that to maximize interactions with others and achieve the goals that you want as a result. So it's hugely beneficial when it comes specifically to careers and things like that. It took me ages to do all of the things on this list. This is just kind of a collection of things that I've accumulated throughout the years. But it's nice to be able to share this with others, all of these things that have made me more confident as a person, and made me understand more about who I am. And I hope it can do the same for everyone else as a result. So I'm excited to be able to share some of these insights. There are going to be 5 steps, and each of them are immediately actionable. So you can literally, as soon as this workshop is over, if you want to, you can go off and go and start Googling these things and start taking these tests and just finding out more about yourself immediately. So that was the angle that I was going for. So I just hope that people can, benefit from this straight away.
Tell us about the first one.
Okay, so the first step is identify your intelligences. So this is a massive one for me. The whole way through school, I was made to feel like I was really stupid because I can't learn facts. Academia is the only intelligence really that is drilled into you that people say is important when you're growing up. But no one tells you that there are loads of different types of intelligences. So there's actually 8 different types of intelligences. Everyone is more than one. Often people aren't academic. That is one of the intelligences, but just understanding and knowing which ones you identify with is a massive confidence booster. You should find out which ones you are, and there will be more than one. And the value it gives you is you need to basically value yourself not based on the social expectation that you are kind of projected on you through school, but the strengths that you actually have and the areas that you're best in. So for example, I hate reading, but I know it's okay to hate reading now because that's not one of my intelligences. I have loads of other things that I excel at. So that's the first step, and it's a really big confidence booster for the rest of them.
What is your intelligence then?
Well, that would be telling. I think everyone should go and identify their own. It doesn't matter what intelligence I am.
Good answer. Okay, step 2.
Okay, so
what's step 2?
this one is all about identifying what type of communication you're best at. So you might be able to tell that I'm a bit of a talker. I'm really bad at writing. Ironically, I know, because I've written the article that this whole workshop is based on. But there are loads of different communication methods. And it might be that you identify particularly strongly with one that you haven't even discovered yet. So what I recommend is that you go and find out what those different methods of communication are. The links are all available on the article. And then just find out which one you're best at, and always utilize that as your kind of go-to base method of communication where you can. It will really help it will help your interaction with other people, especially if you feel really nervous about communicating, or if you feel like you're not a very good communicator. Maybe you just haven't identified the one that you're best at yet.
Amazing. And number 3?
Okay, so number 3 is getting into a little bit more depth. So this properly changed our lives, didn't it, Mae? Take a personality test. There are loads of different types of personality tests out there. Some of them you have to pay for, some of them are free, but it will tell you so much about yourself. I think the main thing about personality tests is that it enables you to understand why you react in certain ways, and the methods that you can use that will always present the best version of yourself. So simply being aware of the fact that you have triggers, or that there are some situations that aren't good for your personality type, it can make it so much easier to deal with, because you can make sure to avoid them. A really good example of this is that I am really bad at taking feedback. And when I took a personality test, I realized, or it told me, how my personality can receive feedback in a way that is like most beneficial for other people, because it's not, my pride is always hurt when I'm given feedback, because I take it very personally. But the reality is that through the personality test, I was able to understand that it's not always personal, and that it's totally okay to, or that other people can deliver it in a certain way that gets the best out of me. That probably didn't make much sense, but
no, it did. No, it definitely did. I think with the personality test, like it's like just learning to accept your personality as well, and that there's no better personality than others. And I think it's, what Sam was saying is just understanding who you are, and then how you can deal with certain situations. It just makes your life so much more easier, and it just helps understand why you do things the way you are.
Absolutely.
Okay, number 4.
Okay, so number 4 is basically building on what you've already got. So you need to get familiar with your psychology. So you need to read, listen, watch, consume everything that you can about your intelligences, your communication methods, and your personality type. So you basically got the foundation, go and build on that foundation. This is basically where you can start analyzing yourself as well, which is always quite fun. People are narcissists at heart, I strongly believe. And so people always love to find out more about themselves. Plus, it's really good fun if you want to analyze other people. Being interested in psychology means that there are just endless subjects for you to analyze. Everyone that you know has a personality type, and you can delve more into thinking about the reasons that they do things and stuff like that. So it's good fun. Like, it's interesting, really.
Yeah. And maybe because sometimes I find it hard to think about it as me. So maybe you could write it down and I don't know, create a parallel you and talk about it as it's someone else. Because I just find it difficult to talk about me.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, create an avatar. Totally. I love that. I think that's a really cool idea. Visualizing, I think that kind of goes back to the communication method. Some people are better at visualizing than others. Yeah. And so I think, if you'd prefer to do that, definitely do. This is kind of
I'm way more visual.
Yeah. And you should be in creative control of your own kind of visualization, I suppose. Of your personality. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Cool.
Okay, and then the final step, number 5.
Okay, so the final step is basically, this is quite an like intense one, and this is kind of just a constant build, really. So it's learning how to become an empath. So some people are naturally more empathetic than others. You know, this doesn't mean that they're better. Like, it just means that some people have this skill a little bit more. So it's all about understanding the psychology of other people, because it's going to force you to practice empathy. So just basically do more of this. Being an empath means that you can interact with people better and exercise the ability to put yourself in other people's shoes, so that you can understand how they feel. That is basically what empathy is all about. So anticipating how someone might react is an incredible skill. Like I say, some people already have it. But it will make you more self-aware of your actions and how they might land on other people, which when it comes to like living your daily life is amazing. It means that you can go to the corner shop and ask for something specific without being necessarily as nervous as you normally would be, because you know that all you're doing is just asking for something basic, whereas that gives people a lot of anxiety often. So it reduces stress levels, it reduces anxiety, it builds on confidence, and just kind of makes you just a bit happier with your face-to-face interactions a lot of the time. When you're starting a job and you're kind of like in the workplace for the first time in an office environment, empathy can help a lot with kind of, I guess, feeling like you are comfortable being around lots of new people that you've never interacted with before. So that's a really good one. Empathy is important.
And I always used to think that you either had it or you don't, but you helped me be aware that you can actually, you know, you can learn to be more empathetic, which I actually think is a skill. Like you said, it's a skill that you can learn.
Yeah. So we have lots of like resources. There's a couple of links on the article that are like a really good kind of like starting places to learn just more about empathy in general.
Exactly. And so that is it. Those are the 5 steps. And as we said before, we have an article that has everything written down on it. It's got links to all of these tests. So the personality test, for example, the intelligence tests. And we have it all on our website. And if you did like this workshop and this article, we've actually creating a full career and self-development series. So this is actually just the first workshop. We've actually got 8 workshops coming up, all free, all pre-recorded. So you can kind of listen in your own time. So yeah, again, just go sign up on our website and we'll let you know when the rest are available. But thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, everyone.